There was no place like the Heartwood Hotel. It was the biggest tree in the whole of Fernwood Forest. At one end lay the foothills, at the other, the village, and in the very center grew the Grand Hotel, with the stream winding its way around it like a long, curly whisker. Everyone loved the Heartwood, especially in the summertime. Mostly it was a resting spot for animals, but for staff, like Mona the maid, it was home. A very pokey home. Sunshine and spines filled the hotel as everyone, staff and guests alike, prepared for a porcupine wedding. Not just any porcupines. Ms. Prickles, the cook, was marrying Mr. Quillson, a former guest who had swept her off her paws. Today was the big day. Mona and her best friend, Tilly the squirrel, had been excused from their maid duties. They were in Mona's room getting dressed up. Tilly could be a bit of a grump, but even she couldn't be grumpy when they put on new heart-patterned dresses instead of their aprons, then ran upstairs to help the bride get ready. They found Ms. Prickles tucked in a corner of the salon on the second floor. The room was packed quill to quill with her porcupine relatives primping and preparing. It was almost impossible to move without being poked. Luckily, the salon was run by a possum who could hang from the ceiling by his tail. That's what he was doing now, busily shining quills upside down. Mona had never been properly introduced. Perkins liked to keep to himself, and it was no surprise, considering how bossy everyone seemed. "Make sure you cover up my gray ones with soot polish," an old porcupine ordered the possum. "Am I finished sitting under the fur fluffer?" asked another. "It's hot enough in here without having added heat. And besides, I don't even have fur." It was very hot. The whole summer had been. Anxious guests were beginning to lose their tempers. "Don't tug so hard," complained the old porcupine. Whoosh! One of her clues flew out and stuck in the ceiling, narrowly missing the possum and drawing everyone's attention. Perkins gave Mona a wide-eyed look. Mona winced. Being the smallest of the staff, she had managed, so far, to avoid being poked. But not Tilly. She'd been poked twice. Make that 3 times. "Ouch!" Tilly cried. "Mona, you do it." She handed Mona the wedding dress. As Tilly soothed her sore side, Mona tugged the dress over Ms. Prickles' spines. 2 quills ripped through the fabric. "This will never do," Ms. Prickles moaned. Mona was about to agree when she realized the porcupine wasn't talking about her dress. She was consulting a list clutched in her paw. "If one more guest shows up, I don't know what will happen," she said under her breath. "But I thought everyone had arrived," said Mona. "As if," said Tilly, rolling her eyes. "More keep coming," replied Ms. Prickles. "I wish weddings weren't so full of surprises.